I was sitting in my office, staring at the rehabilitation reports, when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Thank God I did. Is this a wildlife rescuer? A woman's voice, panicked, unfamiliar. Yes, who is this? I said. My name is Sarah. I run a sanctuary in Kenya. We have a situation. An albino lion was found 3 days ago, trapped in an abandoned well on a private estate. He's severely injured, dying probably. But here's the thing that made me call you specifically. She paused. His medical records. They trace back to a facility you worked at 12 years ago, a breeding operation you shut down illegally, a lion we've been searching for. Does this mean anything to you? The phone nearly slipped from my hand. I hadn't heard about this lion in over a decade. I'd trained myself not to think about him, not to wonder where he was, or if he was alive. It hurt too much. I'm sending you a video, Sarah continued. Just watch it, then tell me if this lion means something to you. I clicked the link with trembling fingers. The footage was shaky, shot from above the well. A massive white lion lay motionless at the bottom, one back leg bent at an impossible angle, blood staining that pristine white coat I'd loved so much. But then the camera zoomed in on his face. Those golden eyes, even broken, even suffering, I recognized them instantly. It was him. 12 years hadn't changed those eyes. My vision blurred. I couldn't breathe properly. On my screen was a ghost from my past, a living reminder of the biggest decision I'd ever made. 2 decades ago, I was a young, idealistic wildlife biologist working at an illegal breeding facility. The place was hell on earth. Animals crammed into cages, living in their own filth, treated like commodities rather than lives. I was documenting violations, gathering evidence for authorities, when I found him, a 3-month-old albino lion cub in a corner enclosure, practically skeletal. His white fur was matted with dirt and blood. His golden eyes were clouded with infection. The facility owner told me casually, while smoking a cigarette, that the cub would be dead within the week. Albinos were worthless. No commercial value, better to dispose of him than waste resources. Something broke inside me that day. I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't watch another beautiful creature die because of human greed. That night, I made an illegal decision that would define the next 12 years of my life. I smuggled the cub out. I forged paperwork. I broke laws I'd spent my career enforcing. I named him after the only thing that mattered, survival itself. For 3 months, I kept him hidden in an abandoned facility nobody used. I gave up everything. My apartment, my savings, my reputation. I slept on concrete floors beside his cage, feeding him formula every 2 hours through the night. When his fever spiked to 104 degrees, I sat beside him, cold compresses on his head, whispering prayers to a God I'd stopped believing in years before. Stay with me, please, you're stronger than this, you can fight this. His eyes would flutter open, barely conscious, but still fighting. Slowly, impossibly, he recovered. His white fur became luminous, almost ethereal. Those golden eyes cleared and brightened until they looked like liquid amber. The day he stood on his own 4 legs and roared for the first time, I collapsed against the wall and sobbed. Not quiet tears, deep primal sobs. That roar was his declaration of life, his refusal to be a statistic. As he grew, something extraordinary happened. He recognized me, not as a caretaker, as family. He'd press his massive head against my chest, and I'd feel his heartbeat, steady and strong. He'd follow me everywhere, his tail wagging like a house cat's. At night, he'd rest his head on my lap, and I'd sit there for hours, my hand in his mane, feeling completely at peace for the first time in my life. People said I was insane. My colleagues whispered that I'd crossed a professional line. They were right, but I didn't care. He wasn't just a rehabilitation project. He was proof that love could transcend species, that one person's commitment could literally save a life. When the prestigious African sanctuary offered him a home, I knew I had to let him go. They had thousands of acres, a pride waiting for him, a future I could never give him in captivity. The day they came to transport him, I couldn't say goodbye. I left. I sat in my car for hours, unable to move, unable to process that I was losing the thing I loved most in the world. For a decade, I threw myself into other rescues, dozens of animals, hundreds of lives saved, but none of them filled the void he left. Now, staring at that video of him trapped and broken in a well, everything came flooding back. I booked a flight to Kenya within hours. Sarah met me at the well site at dawn. The structure was ancient, maybe 70 feet deep, with crumbling stone walls. When I descended on the rope system, my heart was in my throat. Every foot down felt like I was traveling back in time. Then I saw him. Older, scarred, his white coat matted with blood and dirt, but unmistakably him. His eyes were closed. I thought I was too late. "I'm here," I whispered. "I'm here." His eyes snapped open. For a moment, nothing happened. Then recognition flooded his face. His entire body went rigid. A sound came from deep in his chest, something between a roar and a cry of absolute anguish. He tried to move toward me and collapsed. I rushed to him, hands shaking, assessing his injuries. Fractured leg, severe dehydration, multiple lacerations, but his heart was still beating, still fighting, just like 12 years ago. "I've got you," I said, securing him in the harness. "I've got you. I'm not losing you again." As we rose out of that well together, his golden eyes never left mine. When we emerged into the Kenyan sunlight, he pressed his head against me one more time, like he was saying, "I waited for you, I knew you'd come." The veterinary team worked through the night. Fractured leg, severe dehydration, infected wounds. But he fought. He fought because he had something to fight for, someone who believed in him. 3 weeks later, he was walking. 1 month, he was eating on his own. 2 months, he was back to his old self. I'd been there every single day, sleeping in the recovery room, talking to him, reminding him he was loved. Some bonds transcend time. Some love stories are written in scars and second chances. This lion didn't just survive that well. He survived 12 years of separation because something in him remembered that he was worth saving, that he was loved. And sometimes, love has a way of calling us back to the people who matter most, no matter how far or how long we've been apart.